Hi everyone, hope you're having an engaging day here at Marketing Stack 2025. I'm Rachita Sharma, VP of Strategy and Growth at FTA Global.
And I'm Rohit Salian, VP Brand and Creative at FTA Global. So we're going to talk about how generative AI is becoming like an everyday workflow now for every creative stuff, right? But too often people are using it like vending machine, like what you just prompt in and take whatever that comes out. But the real deal is not about using AI, it's in leading it. Right? AI is never or not anytime sooner replacing creative leads. It's basically raising the bars for them.
Absolutely agree with Rohit here. In fact, the budgets are flat, the pressure is higher than ever. Gartner's study shows 40% of CMOs are leaning on AI just for automation. But the real advantage comes when you direct AI like a junior team, setting systems, shaping stories, and orchestrating meaning. That's what today is about.
We'll also show you how actually AI is reshaping the campaigns, how problems are evolving, and why creativity matters the most at this time in time. So let's dig in.
Hi guys, this is Rohit. Let's straight jump to the presentation. Everyone is playing with AI today. Everyone can type a prompt, get an output. But that's not where the edge is, right? The edge is how you direct it. Think of AI as a junior on your team. You don't want to take whatever they hand you. You want to set the brief, you want to critique, you want to refine. And that's where the difference between a campaign that looks like everyone else's and one that actually sticks. Yeah. So here's the gap. AI didn't take away creative jobs, but it exposed weak creative leadership. Like I mentioned earlier, teams are treating it like a vending machine, and that's not it. They type something in, grab the first thing that drops, and call it done. But creativity was never about pushing buttons, right? Because there's no evolution there. It's completely about how you lead the show. It's about shaping the meaning, adding taste, making judgment calls. And that's the part AI can't do for you. And that's the part you come in and decide whether your work cuts through or not. So, with the business reality today, Gartner's latest numbers say that marketing budgets are stuck at 7.7% of company revenue flat. At the same time, every CMO is under pressure to show more results faster. So, what happens? Everyone throws AI at the problem, and sure, you get efficiency. But sameness is the hidden cost in there. You're not just competing with brands in the category anymore. You're competing with the wall of AI generated sameness across. And leadership is the only thing that will break through that wall. Today, generative AI is in every creative workflow. AI can crank out hundreds of options before you go for your lunch. True that. But here's the thing. It doesn't know what's on your brand, what's culturally sharp, and what's actually going to land with your audience. That's your job. The real shift isn't about treating AI like a shortcut. It's about treating it like a partner you need to direct. And that's where the edge is. So how do you actually do that? What makes AI a true creative partner instead of just another tool? To truly unlock AI's potential, leaders need to shift how they think and work. In this playbook, we'll understand the structure and future of all the prompts and create narratives that helps scale across platforms. First and foremost, we think it's all about the prompt problem. But wait, the problem isn't just about writing prompts. It's about how we frame direction. Prompts can alone feel rigid, keyword heavy, or one shot. The future is about moving from prompts to direction. So let's stop blaming the prompts. So I'll tell you what is the actual issue. So we are stuck treating AI like templates. Prompts are very rigid, focused on syntax and assumed to deliver perfect outputs in one shot. But that's not happening because creative work thrives on iteration. Input methods are evolving. These are the three main ways to interact with generative platforms. The first, text to video. Starting from text, and almost all platform does it these days. I assure you that all platforms eventually have to get their own static platforms to create or base out to the video platform, right? The second is frames to video. These are actually building out to be very efficient because they have a starting and end frame. They are also building consistency. Example like Kling does it very well. And the third is ingredients to video, combining multiple assets to build scenes. Basically, these are complex platforms which are actually world builders. Basically, you can create your own brand world in this, and there's a continuity to the storytelling that you create. To make AI a true partner, leaders must shift their mindset. These are the things that they need to move away from. Template driven thinking. Templates are very rigid to start with, right? They limit the creative accidents, and creative accidents are a sign of fresh thinking. Second is one shot mentality. We focus on the perfect single prompt, expecting a final product instantly. But that's not the job. Your job is to prompt perfectly? No, but to provide vision and direction. That's where creativity lies. And differentiation also lives in there. Third is we focus on syntax and not substance. We are obsessed over keywords instead of conveying true creative intent. Our focus has shifted from syntax to substance. I'm pressing over it again because AI is not a vending machine that spits out assets. Too often we expect, like, feed a prompt in there, expect a perfect output, but that's not it. It's an orchestra that requires a conductor. But after all, true said, efficiency without originality is still mediocrity. The future of prompts are loud and clear. Is industry shifting? The future will be less about complex syntax and more about simple intent that AI understands. So, prompt engineering isn't the job, but direction is. So, stop worrying, guys. It's time to be happy. Your job as a creative leader didn't disappear, it just got an upgrade. The real opportunity is to stop being an asset requester and start being world builders. Instead of asking for one-off pieces, we guide AI to co-create experiences, building richer and more original content, right? Your goal as a guide is to actually create or take the AI through thought process to co-create something truly original. So how do you do it? These are some examples of prompt that will show you your role is shifting from prompter to director, right? The old way was give commands, provide instructions, edit the output, expect single and perfect prompt. What is the output that you eventually get from it? Generic prompt and generic asset out, not the cutting edge stuff, right? Director style, right? How do you direct it? Now, the orchestrated form of prompting. Basically, what does this do? Sets a vision, builds a brand, gives an iterative feedback, and engaging in creative conversation. This actually helps you to bring out the real, true brand vision to the AI and gets the actual content out, which is very original in nature, right? So this shift means moving from prompt writing to directing, like a film director. We need to guide the tone, style, narrative, ensuring that AI aligns with bigger creative vision. So importantly, remember these three pillars to direct AI effectively: clear intent, structure systems, and creative judgment. Together, these pillars evaluate outputs from generic to original, which is first, creative brief, second, the iterative loop, and third, asking why, which is very important because why will eventually help you reason better with the AI and give it the better vision of bigger world that you're looking at. Here's the example of well-structured text prompt, right? Notice the detail from camera wobble to micro expressions. This level of specific input ensures realism and reduces errors like wrapping or text fingers or extra fingers, right? JSON prompting locks in technical constraints like aspect ratios, making output predictable, or production level readiness. It is not about just creativity. It is about reliability at scale. So also remember there's a key constraint. VO3 currently locks output at 16:9 width aspect ratio. This is important for creative planning. These are the examples of how prompts are evolving to become simpler from prompt to text. The complexity moves behind the scenes. In the next slide, I'll show you examples of how to draw the prompt. So yes, prompts are evolving, becoming simpler with platforms like Google VO3. Simple will be the new complex. Soon, it started with detailed prompts, but in future, AI agents will understand your base intent without heavy detailing required, right? And these are actually drawn prompts, and once you actually paste it in, VO3, the output will be mind-blowing. In the future, your creative intent will be just the prompt. Whether you use text or JSON, it's all about the clarity. And that's what I feel. From my experience, prompt or JSON doesn't matter. It's about giving clear instructions, not just magic. The more specific your prompt is, the better your results will be. Specific direction always beats vague instructions. Okay. Tools like VO and Kling allow us to direct cinematic level movements with dialogue, character consistency, and camera control. It's about taking AI beyond drafts and into production quality storytelling. What are the key factors in both platforms? So VO3 is very high in visual realism, strong lighting, textures, motion. It produces cinematic quality of visuals. Integrated native audio. Basically, it can generate background scores, ambient audio, sometimes dialogue too. Understand cinematic language well. Terms like aerial shot, slow motion, time lapse, it's very well, othered. Polished output looks more finished compared to any other platform right now. And also it's very good for promos. So Kling. Kling helps generate start and end frame with precision and high physics in motion, right? Its production quality is very clean. More creative control and flexibility adjusting cameras and transition are offered in this. More importantly, cost effectiveness. For many of the users, it's a decent quality, output with a lower cost compared to other premium models that we have right now. Strong motion realism. Kling 2.1 does a amazing job in fluid motion. It's something no platform have actually, no platform have actually mastered it right now. Good for creators who want to do a lot of experiment. So coming to VO3 and Flow, right? Everyone's had a big question: what is difference between VO3 and Flow? Because of course it's coming from the same Gemini. So because we spoke about VO3 already, I'm going to talk about what Flow does. Right? Flow is great with editing and its workflow. Flow is just not a generation tool, but it helps you build full scene stories. It gives you tools to chain and clips, control camera angles, transition, and scene continuity is strong point, right? Integration also comes with saying that VO3 for video, Imagine 4 for static and detail work. It has Gemini for prompt understanding and story continuity. It has an ease of storytelling. It helps you, completely structure narratives, maintain style, consistency across shot, and controlled visual styling. His interface is very great. Its interface is very good. Flow makes it easier to manage projects, bring in assets, edit clips inside an unified tool rather than piecing out it separately that you need to eventually stitch it. To sum it up, Flow is fast, experimental, while VO3 is polished and cinematic. Think of Flow for creative exploration and VO3 for final client work, that you need to put together. Together, they cover the full spectrum of creative needs. So motion brush effect. Motion brush is a great tool. It allows you to draw paths and direct motion. Instead of obsessing over text, we can directly visually give it what we want, and the output is really out there. For example, guiding how a Roma moves across a room. It's about giving AI storyboard like instruction. And the output is something that you can see right now. Here's a practical example of AI-driven ad execution I'm going to talk about. I'm going to show you two examples of how we do it in FTA, and notice how prompting becomes less about syntax and more about vision. Directing the AI towards cinematic brand and storytelling. Hope you liked it. And this is the next. We did it for our client Zoomcar. And in this campaign, AI was used to generate unique storytelling assets. Again, the magic wasn't in the prompts. It was how the team directed the AI towards cohesive brand narrative.
Since 1947, there's freedom with rights. Since 2013, there's freedom that you drive. Zoomcar wishes you a happy independence.
Okay. So what are the key takeaways? Don't try to fool people into thinking that AI outputs are real. Embrace the creativity. Embrace its uniqueness. That's fine. Use prompt libraries and JSON annotations for precision. And remember, iterate constantly. Version 1 is never the final one. Iteration is your best friend. You don't need to build full ads every time. AI helps scale simple moments. Even a small hook or B-roll can save massive production cost. At the end of the day, storytelling remains the most valuable skill. Storytelling is the differentiator. Clips stitched into coherent narratives will outlast isolated visuals forever. Right? So I'm passing the baton to Rachita now. She'll deep dive into systems and orchestrations from here. Thank you.
Thanks, Rohit. I think what you just showed us proves that AI can deliver speed and scale in seconds, right? But speed without structure is just chaos on steroids. This is where the role of systems and orchestration comes in. If you want AI to be more than a clever intern, you need to give it the frameworks,
prompt libraries, tone codexes, supply chains, right? That makes its output coherent and repeatable. That's what separates teams who experiment endlessly from teams who actually scale distinctive creative. So let's shift gears now into 4 moves every creative leader needs to master in the AI era. We have boiled this down into 4 moves. First is systemizing the creativity so that teams aren't reinventing the wheel every time, right? Second is balancing scale from AI with human instinct so the work still connects. Third is building creative supply chains that keep the quality steady even when the volume is high. And finally, orchestrating narratives across the platform so that campaigns don't get lost in silos. A cosmetics brand we worked with actually, we actually tried this with it. Once they put these 4 pieces in place, their campaigns felt less scattered and suddenly carried through, from Instagram to YouTube to retail activations. Now, let's get into the first move, systemizing the creativity. The reason most AI outputs feel chaotic is because there is no operating system behind them. Every prompt is starting from scratch, right? So, what leaders do is codify. They take brand tone and make it AI ready. We call it a tone codex, right? So, they built libraries of reusable prompts with like Lego blocks, right? They design creative operating system frameworks that tell AI, like, this is how we, structure campaigns. This is how we scale voice without losing distinctiveness, right? So, I'll give you an example. A retail brand, had 15 different teams prompting differently, right? So once we built them a codex and prompt library, suddenly their AI wasn't producing random variations. It was producing on brand assets at speed, right? So that's the power of systemization. Now, at the same time, we also understand that, systems alone aren't enough. The second move is balance. AI is a beast at volume. It will give you 100 drafts in 10 seconds, right? But it doesn't know which one actually lands with say, a teenager in Bangalore or a working mom in Chicago, right? That's where human instinct comes in. So we have found a sweet spot. 80% of the work is machine generated, 20% is human refinement. That's 20, that 20% is where you add taste, you add the cultural nuance, you add humor, you add those small details that make people feel something, right? Because volume without nuance is just noise. We have seen clients save, say, 40% of production time with AI, right? But the campaigns that cut through are always the ones where humans stepped in and made it sing. Now let's talk about supply chains. Most people still think of campaigns as big bang productions. One team, one big idea, shipped out, right? The reality today is different. The best brands, say Nestle, L'Oreal, even smaller D2C players, they run creative like a supply chain, right? They have the pods that mix AI operators, strategists, designers, analysts, right? A lot of QA loops that filter for tone, compliance, and performance, right? They also have distributed creators, right? Sometimes micro influencers, sometimes internal teams, right? Who localize and validate. So that's how you scale distinctiveness. The beauty of supply chains is that they create repeatability, right? You don't need to reinvent process every time. You just keep improving the chain. This shift is so significant, right? Tenzu, the agency has already named it. The move from a creator economy to an imagination economy. Because with AI, creation is no longer scarce. Everyone can generate, right? What's scarce now is leadership, the imagination to direct. I'll put it this way. Say, 5 years ago, the question was who can produce fastest. Today, the question is who can direct best. This is why creative leads are more critical than ever. You're not the person making everything by hand. You're the person deciding what the machine should make, what to keep, and what to throw away, and how it all ladders up to strategy. And this is where everything ties together, right? orchestration. Too many campaigns today are just piles of assets, right? They don't add up to anything. Strong creative direction means designing a core story and breaking it into atomic blocks that can live across Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Meta, right? Without losing coherence. So it's not about exporting one ad to 4 platforms. It's about adopting the story to each platform's culture. Now, narratives scale better than templates. That's why when you look at the campaigns that go viral and sustain, they're not running on asset dumps, they're running on orchestrated stories that travel. So the real shift here is from using AI as a quick output tool to using it as part of a structured creative system. The leaders who will stand out are the ones who direct AI like a team, setting up systems, supply chains, and narratives that scale. That's what will separate brands that blend into the noise from the ones that build a lasting presence. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you.
Well, hope that was an engaging session for all of you. One thing is clear, AI doesn't lower the bar, it raises it. Distinctive campaigns come from leaders who design systems, build supply chains, and apply judgment.
And when AI is directed with imagination and clarity, AI is no more a tool for you, it's a team member. The future is not about who promises faster, it's who orchestrates it better. So what do we take away from this, the whole webinar? Basically the idea is templates will officially make you faster, but creativity will make you unforgettable. Thank you.
Thank you.